This family is something else. If you ever thought you had family drama, you may never meet this family. On this installment of the Dysfunctional Families of the Bible, we're still talking about Jacob's kids. So we're talking about Jacob's fourth child, Judah, and Tamar. So Judah is the fourth child. Tamar is actually his son's widow. Hi, my name is Jackie, and I am the Abundant Life Guru. I talk all things beauty, Bible, and money. Let's get into it. Judah married a Canaanite woman, the daughter of Shua. She became pregnant, and their first son was Ur. Ur was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him, which left his widow childless, right? It was customary at the time that the brother or the next in line in the family would sleep with the widow, and so they can have an heir. Judah gave his son Onan the task to sleep with Tamar. And he didn't want to, but he did. But he pulled out. And because he pulled out, he died. It just gets worse and worse. I think Tamar might be considered a black widow, but I hope you're still following. Here we are. That brings us to Genesis 38. Judah then said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's household until my son Shelah grows up." For he thought he may die too, just as his brother. So Tamar went to live in her father's house. So she went off back to her land, lived with her father for a set period of time because she's owed a birthright. She's owed a son. She's owed an heir from this family line, right? And in that time, they weren't really getting remarried like that. But I'm guessing that she was probably young enough, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Went up to her father's house. It's been years past, and Judah is heading back. Judah's wife died. So he's grieving, and after that period of time, he goes to the land of Timnah. Tamar got word that her father-in-law was in town, and she said, well, I still didn't get my heir. I'm going to concoct a plan, right? So if we see down the line, there's deceptive practices all in the line of Jacob, right? Judah thought that he was going to be like, yeah, I'm going to give you my youngest son, but he really wasn't going to do it. Okay, does that sound familiar? If it doesn't, you got to watch our other installments 1 through 3. Tamar says, I'm going to concoct a plan. So she puts on a veil, she puts on a disguise, and she goes to the side of the road and she acts as a prostitute. And he, just like every grieving man, right? A real grieving man, he went and said, hey, I want to sleep with you. She said, what are you going to give me? He said, I'll give you a young goat. She said, well, will you make a pledge, or how do I know you won't come back and give me the goat? I need reassurance. I need something.
I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
She said, give me your staff, your seal, cord, and your staff. He said, okay, because he wanted the cat that bad. They slept together and she became pregnant. So when Judah got time, he sent the young goat. He said, hey, find a young prostitute on the side of the road. I owe her a young goat. They said, there's no prostitutes over here. There's no prostitutes around here. And they came back to him with that word. And he said, I don't know. And the messenger said, I'm not going to go back to these people looking for a prostitute. Judah then was like, okay, no problem, fine. If she shows up again, she shows up again. After 3 months, Judah got word that Tamar was pregnant, and he said she should be put to death as she is being brought out into the city. Now, this is in Genesis 38, verse number 25. It says, she sent a message to her father-in-law, I am pregnant by a man who owns these. And she added, see if you recognize the seal and cord and staff these are. Judah recognized them and said, she is more righteous than I. Since I wouldn't give her to my son Shelah, and he did not sleep with her again. Verse 27 says, when the time came for her to give birth, there were twins in her womb. As she was giving birth, one of them put out his hand, so the midwife tied a scarlet thread and said, this one came out first, right? Then he drew his hand back into the womb, and his brother came out. So this is how you broke out, and his name was Perez. Then his brother, who had the scarlet thread on his wrist, came out, and his name was Zerah. Do you see the trickery in that family? Down to the line. So it went from Rachel to Jacob to Judah to now Judah's has twin boys with his daughter-in-law, and those kids are so deceitful, even from the womb, that the babies tricked them. With the firstborn, the nurse tied a scarlet thread, and he hid his hand and went back in the womb. This family is something else. If you ever thought you had family drama, you would never meet this family. Thank you for watching this installment of the Dysfunctional Function of the Thank you for watching this installment of the Dysfunctional Families of the Bible. Hi, I just want you guys to enjoy this series. If you are enjoying it, like it, share it with another person. Talk to you soon.